Happy Monday. We are keeping our focus on parables this week, which is not exactly Christmas, but fun, and maybe a little bit like Christmas because there's a sense in which you get to open a present and figure out what it is, although I would suggest that parables are often a present that you don't understand it initially. Parables are these stories that sort of smuggle a truth under our radar, and it's often a little while later that we suddenly go, hey, wait a minute, I think this actually means this, not just this. And so, and whatever the this is, by the way, generally tends to carry a little bit of a wallop with it. So I've heard someone, met a friend who said he counted up all the parables, read all the parables and divided them into two camps. Those that celebrated grace and was all about the radical, unmerited love of God, and those that told us that we needed to be good stewards and were all about, the need to serve and the need to give. We're in Luke 19 and we're going to look at the parable of talents. So this is pretty clearly in this camp. This is a need to use the gifts and abilities that you've been given. So Luke 19, we're getting close to Jesus entering into Jerusalem for the final week, where it's going to end with, of course, his crucifixion and resurrection. He's just been with Zacchaeus, the tax collector, remarkably unpopular guy, short in stature, had climbed a tree, and then Jesus had come to his house, and in the end, Jesus says, today salvation has come to Zacchaeus. So we're reading now in Luke 19, beginning with verse 11, and it says, while they were listening to this, he went on to tell them a parable because he was near Jerusalem and the people thought that the kingdom of God was going to appear at once. So let me just note, for 2,000 years, people have been pretty convinced that the kingdom of God was going to appear at once, and at some point, they will be right. We will be right in thinking that everything is going to be in its final consummation. But Jesus goes on. He said, a man of noble birth went to a distant country to have himself appointed king and then to return. So he called 10 of his servants and gave them 10 minas. But put this money to work, he said, until I come back. But his subjects hated him and sent a delegation after him to say, we don't want this man to be our king. He was made the king, however, and returned home. Then he sent to the servants to whom he had given the money in order to find out what they had gained with it. The first one came and said, sir, your mina has earned 10 more. Well done, my good servant, his master replied, because you have been trustworthy in a small matter, take charge of 10 cities. The second came and said, sir, your mina has earned 5 more. His master answered, you take charge of 5 cities. Then another servant came and said, sir, here's your mina. I have kept it laid away in a piece of cloth. I was afraid because you're a hard man. You take what you do not put in and you reap what you do not sow. His master replied, I will judge you by your own words, you wicked servant. You knew, did you, that I am a hard man, taking out what I did not put in and reaping what I did not sow? Why then didn't you put my money on deposit so that when I came back I could at least collect it with interest? Then he said to those standing by, take his mina away from him and give it to the one who has 10. Sir, they said, he already has 10. He replied, I tell you, to everyone who has, more will be given, but for the one who has nothing, even what he has will be taken away. But those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. There is a lot there. We will pick this up tomorrow. Have a good day.